this is music theory, and it's boring, but I'm gonna try my best to make it, number one, really accessible, number two, actually fun to use, actually fun to practice. Because I think if I can do that, it's going to make the whole subject a lot more digestible. I'm going to break this up into maybe some categories. So the first one, I think the most important one is intervals. The second one will probably be scales. After that, modes. After that, triads. Now, all those things to beginners to music theory, they'll sound gobbledygook. But believe me, after this video, you'll know what an interval is and how it can profoundly affect the sound of your guitar in a given musical context. So like I said, intervals, the most important pillar of music theory. Intervals are basically the space between the notes. To not get too complicated, like you can get more detailed, but it is essentially the space between two notes. We'll also cover notes themselves, but really with notes, it's sort of brute force. You kind of have to just learn the fretboard. There is no easy way around it. You can make it easier. I might cover that in another video, a really short one. But for example, now we're going to be in C. I just memorize it. I just know where C is. But it's also the 8th. Is it the 8th fret? Yeah. See, I've been playing with notes for so long that the frets, that's kind of tricky. I've not used tablature in a while. But anyway, so we're in C. We're going to play the C major scale. Or will I play C minor? I'll play C minor so I can put in my tidbit. That's the C minor scale. What makes it sound dark? Well, hopefully your ear will be able to tell the difference between and this. One sounds sad, one sounds happy. And the reason that one sounds sad and one sounds happy is because of intervals. The difference between the major scale and minor scale is I'm going to try and make this as simple as possible. The third interval is flattened. And what do I mean by that? Like I said before, intervals are just the space between notes. So the intervals for the major scale are your root note, so C, otherwise known as your tonic. The major second interval, major second, it is a whole tone. Hope you can see that. It's basically 2 frets up. And then you have your major third, which again is just 2 frets up. And then we have a half step, which is 1 fret up, which brings us to our fourth, otherwise known as a perfect fourth. You can kind of hear it. Kind of sounds like a power chord. That brings us another whole step up to our fifth, which is where you get the 5th chord, the power chord. A power chord is just the tonic and the 5th interval played together. You could actually argue it's got the and the 8th degree. But we're on the 5th. Another whole step, and then a half step, or a whole step up rather, and then finally a half step. So it's just, that's the I guess a good way of learning it is that a major interval will almost all, I think, in fact it always is, a space of 2 frets. A minor second is just a half step. So if we were playing C and wanted to play the minor second interval, we would only go up 1 fret. And instantly that just sounds a bit dull. So that's the intervals of a major scale, and like I said, it is easier to learn the intervals if you pretty much memorize that. If it's a major, let's say it's a major third, it's almost, I mean, that's 4 frets, so it's going to be in 2s, and minor intervals will almost always be half steps. So like looking at the minor scale, in fact what we'll do now is we'll simplify it to 1 string. So again, we're on C. We're gonna do so a minor lick, or a minor group of 3 notes would be your tonic, a major second, and then a minor third. So remember, when we were doing the major scale, it was a major third. And again, but now it's a minor third. So that's intervals, and I hope that you can see what difference the just a position change can make on the sound of a scale and again in a musical context. Sounds dark. It gets mad when you look at modes. So for instance, here's a teaser. This is C Lydian. Lydian sounds like you're kind of floating through a dream. The reason for that is that the 4th degree is sharpened. So instead of playing, it's sharpened or brought up 1 fret. You can kind of hover around it. So it's very Steve Vai. And to top off intervals, we have a tidbit that I came across when I was dandering in the minor scale, and I'm just going to play it for you. And actually, you know what? That's going to come in a short. It's going to come in a short. But I hope you learned about intervals. First video, so it's a bit of a train wreck, but hopefully you can take away from that like just a general gist of intervals. I'm trying to make these videos as short as possible, and it's challenging because no one wants to watch long form content anymore. So that's intervals. We'll be coming at you with more stuff about notes, modes, scales, pardon me, and then finally chords. Chords are super important as well. Triads. And you should have like a solid foundation to be able to improvise more effectively.